What's going on, y'all? This is WWE superstar Kofi Kingston, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
Hey, this is Antonio Cesaro, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
Hey, this is Trish Stratus, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored. Keep listening. Stratisfaction is guaranteed.
Aw, yeah. Welcome to Wrestling Uncensored. I am Dave Simon. He is the big man, Johnny North. Follow him on Twitter, at North Genesis. Follow him on Instagram, at Genesis Johnny North. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Same handle, Dave Simon MMA. Very easy for you. Dave Simon MMA on Twitter and Instagram. WrestlingUncensored.net is our website. We got a lot of pro wrestling to talk about tonight. WWE SummerSlam went down last week. The Roman Reigns era has begun. Brock Lesnar is gone. Roman is the new champion on Raw. The Raw title, the Universal title, defended on Raw for the first time in what feels like years. This past week on Monday Night Raw, we got so much pro wrestling to get to. I hope you all enjoyed Dave and Johnny Live that aired yesterday on YouTube. Of course, every Friday afternoon, Friday around 12:30. Dave and Johnny go live on YouTube. We talk pro wrestling. We talk 90 Day Fiancé. We talked about All In, the big show going down next weekend, September 1st, put on by Cody Rhodes and the Bucks of Youth, the Young Bucks. Huge wrestling show in Chicago. We talk about pro wrestling, not WWE related, on Dave and Johnny Live and all sorts of bits in between. Johnny North and I had a spirited discussion about the new marijuana laws in Canada that are coming up, which I didn't expect to have, but Johnny just kind of throws things out there. We never know what's going to happen on the show, John, and that's part of what makes it so special, because it's Dave and Johnny Live, where anything goes, Friday afternoons on YouTube. And, of course, the podcast on our iTunes feed and at WrestlingUncensored.net on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/ringsidereport.net with the .net spelled out, DOTNET is our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ringsidereport.net. Like I said, anything can happen on Dave and Johnny Live. Right, John?
We talk about things we definitely should not talk about on this show. We should mainly keep it wrestling. We don't need to get too political, I think.
You never know what wormhole we might spiral into, right? Things get weird.
It is midnight, and I understand that, but I think people are listening for wrestling.
Of course.
We should give them wrestling.
Well, that's it, and that's what we give you here on Wrestling Uncensored. If you want all the rest of the stuff, if you're listening to this podcast and you're like, hey, whatever happened to the Wrestling Uncensored pre-show, it's Dave and Johnny Live, and you can listen to that. It's a separate podcast over at WrestlingUncensored.net. But this is Wrestling Uncensored. I mean, this is the big show. This is the big deal. We got some WWE to talk about. This is big times in the world of professional wrestling. We are headed on the road to WrestleMania. I'm calling it. I'm calling it right now, Johnny North. SummerSlam happened. We are on the road to WrestleMania. Everything built to SummerSlam, and everything from here on in will build towards WrestleMania. This is the first time I'm saying it for WrestleMania 2019. WrestleMania, what, 35? 36?
Yeah,
35, right?
Yeah.
WrestleMania 35. I'm saying it here. We are now officially, end of August, on the road to WrestleMania.
Yeah, but usually by now we have a good idea of what the main event's going to be for WrestleMania.
Oh, Roman Reigns against somebody, of course.
Yeah, but usually you know who it's going to be. Right now, yeah, Roman Reigns against who? Big question mark right now.
Who? The New Day?
SmackDown as well. You don't know who is going to be WWE champion. Are you sure it's going to be AJ Styles? We're, I think, very far away from getting on that road to WrestleMania. I think Survivor Series, you're going to have a better view of the landscape.
Yeah, of course, and as we get closer and closer, we're going to have a better idea, but I do believe that the build, the beginnings of things are starting to happen now for WrestleMania, and I think Roman Reigns taking that spot at the top of Raw, that's the biggest thing that happened. And if you missed our SummerSlam recap, we're going to talk about Raw and SmackDown here tonight. We were live right after SummerSlam, as we are after every single pay-per-view, and the podcast is up. It was up on our YouTube channel. We were live. We were taking your questions. It was a lot of fun and there were a lot of people watching right after SummerSlam. Most people not that happy about the card, and we discussed it at length, and you can go download that right now, or you could go watch back on our YouTube channel. But I think the biggest thing that happened out of SummerSlam was Roman Reigns becoming champion. Roman Reigns at the top of Monday Night Raw, I just said it, the title was defended against Finn Balor there. When's the last time you saw the Universal Championship defended on an episode of Raw?
It was probably when Kevin Owens was champion.
Yeah, even then. Didn't happen that often, I don't think.
I think he defended against Seth Rollins one time. I think he may have defended against Roman and ended in disqualification. But yeah, it's been a very long time.
So it's been maybe 2 years?
Almost 2 years.
About 2 years.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Well, that's what happens when you had Goldberg and you had Brock Lesnar, who just weren't around. That's why.
That's correct.
But it made the Universal title seem like a big deal, and it was because it was rarely defended.
Yeah, and it did feel like a big deal, but I think it went on for so long. At the beginning of Brock Lesnar's title reign, you were like, this is cool. But as it dragged on and on and on, people were tired of it, and people were tired of seeing their Universal Champion never there. People were tired of having a Monday Night Raw that couldn't really revolve around a championship because the champion wasn't there and he wasn't even going to be there for the next pay-per-view. So you had to build these big pay-per-view matches with nothing really on the line. And I think I was frustrated. I think a lot of wrestling fans were frustrated with the champion not being around and having to watch a Monday Night Raw every week with nothing really on the line. And the Intercontinental Championship became the de facto top title on the brand, which, it made Raw feel like a second-rate show a lot of the times. And like him or hate him, Roman Reigns as a champion of Raw right now is the right move for the WWE. They've been pushing this guy for so long. He is the top guy as far as they're concerned. Finally getting the title around him, getting rid of Brock Lesnar, and making the show about Roman Reigns and the Universal Championship, and is Braun Strowman going to take it from him? It's a far more compelling product now than it was for the past year, at least, I'd say. Because all of a sudden, you have matches that mean something. All of a sudden, there's a big prize on the line. Your champion is actually on the show. And that's a big deal. That means something.
I guess it helps to see that you're going to see an actual championship match. That's great, I suppose. It's just, it was the eventual build towards Roman Reigns that everyone saw coming, and now we have to live in it. And I don't think people like to live in it. As you saw from the start of Raw, he got those boos, and they were kind of deserved because people didn't want to get to this point.
Yeah, people don't want to see Roman Reigns on top. People don't think he deserves to be the Universal Champion. But at this point in the game, we're so far gone with this Roman Reigns push. It's just what has to happen. Like, I don't like it. You don't like it. But it's what needs to be done. I mean, if the WWE is serious about this Roman Reigns character, if they're serious about making him their next John Cena, their next top guy in the whole company, he's got to hold the title. Like, he's been champion twice before, but has had very short title reigns. He's got to be the guy. He's got to have the whole show on his back. And you could say that it was on his back before, but without that championship, it isn't really. It's more of a team effort. But now that you're the champion, now that you're that top guy, you're clearly defined as the number one on Monday Night Raw, the flagship show to the WWE. The pressure is on now. This is the time where he needs to prove himself. And if the WWE is serious about Roman Reigns, they have to give him the ball. And that's what they've done here. And I'm fine with it. Let them see. Sink or swim now, Roman. Let's see what you can do. And so far, it hasn't been much. The show on Monday, his match with Finn was okay. The promo at the top of the show was okay. but he's not blowing anybody away. And I think the way to blow people away is to embrace the hate. Just turn heel. Cena didn't want to do it, but Roman Reigns, you're not John Cena. Your cousin, Dwayne, The Rock Johnson, he understood when to turn heel because the people were forcing him in that way. He understood when to be a bad guy and when to be a good guy, and he flip-flopped many, many, many times. And you can't tell me that he had a bad career. This character that Roman Reigns is doing right now, they need to go full heel. And I think they might be going down that road, but it's kind of murky. Like, it's not clear what they're doing. Because Roman Reigns has this match with Finn Balor, beats Finn Balor in the main event, right?
Clean.
Pins him, beats him clean. Despite the fact that Roman was distracted by Braun Strowman. Like, Braun Strowman comes out, and you think, oh, well, Braun Strowman's going to cash in, or Braun Strowman's going to distract Roman, and Finn's going to win the title here. But no, Roman was distracted momentarily by Braun Strowman, but not enough so that he lost the match, which, you know, in the WWE, how many times do you see a distraction finish?
All the time.
All the time. But Roman Reigns, he is impervious to the distraction finish. You cannot distract him to a loss. That doesn't happen to Roman. You know, even though Braun Strowman was there, Roman's like focused, which is fine. You know, it's just showing how strong Roman is. He beats Finn Balor clean, which, you know, whatever. I don't think we thought Finn Balor was going to be a long-term threat to Roman Reigns right now. It's not the immediate feud. You don't need to push Finn Balor that strong where he can't lose to Roman here. It's a solid win for Roman on his first night as champion.
Well, if anything, it gets it out of the way, that whole, like, Finn never got a rematch for the Universal Championship, so now he finally got it. It's out of the way. You don't have to go back to Finn Balor anymore.
That's right, and Roman Reigns cut that promo at the beginning of Raw, which he should not cut.
Why?
Because he said, look, I'm a fighting champion, and I'm here, and I'm going to give a shot to a guy who deserves it, who never got his rematch for the Universal title, Finn Balor. He's giving a babyface a shot. It's a babyface promo.
Right.
Don't do that. Stop being a babyface. Be a heel. Turn heel. Like, it's time now. He's a champion. It's time to turn heel. He's got two guys helping him out to beat one guy. It was 3-on-1. It was a 3-on-1 attack at the end of Monday Night Raw. Braun Strowman's out there. He's about to cash in his rightfully won Money in the Bank. Braun Strowman's doing nothing wrong. Braun Strowman won Money in the Bank. That briefcase gives him a shot at the champion whenever he wants. He wanted Brock Lesnar. He wasn't able to get to him at SummerSlam because Brock got to him first. Right? Mm-hmm. Brock beat up Strowman, so Strowman wasn't able to cash in at SummerSlam. Strowman wanted Brock Lesnar, and he wanted to cash in on Raw, but Brock was never on Raw. Now, finally, here's the champion. All Braun Strowman wants to do is cash in his Money in the Bank and become Universal Champion. Braun Strowman is doing nothing wrong by going after Roman Reigns. He is a babyface. He is also way more universally accepted by the audience than Roman Reigns. People love Braun Strowman and they pop for him. He is a babyface. He comes out. Roman has his match with Finn. Strowman waits his turn. He's like, here we go. I'm cashing in on you, Roman. I'm coming after you. And then who comes out to stop him? Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, Roman's old Shield buddies, and they beat up Braun Strowman. They put him through the announce table with the triple powerbomb, and they stand tall at the end of Monday Night Raw. That felt like a heel move to me. I don't know what the WWE's trying to pull, but I really hope that they're just moving in the heel direction. I don't know if they are, because every time it seems like they're going to turn Roman heel, they put Dean and Seth with him again, because Dean and Seth are baby faces, and they try to bring the crowd back to cheering Roman by association with the Shield. because people like the Shield, people like Dean and Seth for some reason, and when Roman's associated with them, he gets cheered, and that's what the WWE wants. They want Roman to be cheered. That's why he cuts that babyface promo, that good guy promo, giving everybody an opportunity because I'm a fair champion. That's why he does that with Finn Balor at the beginning of Raw, because the WWE wants him to be cheered by the audience. They want him to be their top babyface. Their top babyface is Braun Strowman, though. And, in reality, people actually like Braun Strowman. And I don't understand where the WWE is really going with this. It's odd because Braun's a babyface and Roman's a babyface, but Roman's getting booed by the crowd, and Seth and Dean are helping him in a 3-on-1 attack on Braun Strowman. So is Roman a babyface? Like, he started off Raw, babyface. The whole thing with Finn Balor, babyface. After the match, heel Roman. So I'm not really clear on what the WWE's trying to do here. I'm not sure they're clear on what they're trying to do here, right?
Well, I think they clearly needed to establish why Braun wasn't going to cash in Money in the Bank. And they did. Like, they got the Shield back together, and that can stop Braun Strowman, because there's not much that can stop him. But now that's kind of the story. Now Braun can't cash in. The Shield's around, so he's stuck. Now what's going to happen?
So Roman Reigns is the evil champion being protected by his goons.
That's one way of looking at
it's
it,
like
yeah.
Seth Rollins with his Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury. What do they call them?
Well, Noble Mercury. I forget what the...
Didn't they have a name, though?
Oh, they did have some sort of stooge name to
Yeah.
them, but I forget what it was.
Doesn't matter.
Well, they weren't that important.
Yeah. But it's like a heel move, right? It's weird. It's weird that they would have these two guys backing up Roman. So now it's Braun Strowman, one man. He's just one man. He may be huge and everything. He may be the monster among men, but he's still like a human being. And he has to take on 3 humans now? That doesn't seem fair. It's a 3-on-1 attack every time. Roman Reigns is going to avoid getting cashed in on because his buddies in the Shield are going to help him out. Like, did Seth, Dean, and Roman all turn heel at the end of Raw, or am I reading too much into it?
I feel like this is just for the circumstance. Because this is the situation they're put in, they're heels in this circumstance. But come Raw next week, they're probably going to be against Ziggler and McIntyre, so they're de facto the faces. But in this situation, yes, they're the heels. But it's only in this situation.
That's stupid.
Well, this is the problem when you don't have strong heels and faces, challengers for Roman.
Yeah, I mean, your top heel on Raw right now is Kevin Owens, and he got totally squashed at SummerSlam by Braun Strowman. The match lasted like 2 minutes. Kevin Owens got totally destroyed, and he was your best shot at a strong top heel opponent for Roman or anybody. And, he's been relegated to a lower level where you can't really take him seriously after SummerSlam in that very quick match where he got demolished and really got no offense in on Braun Strowman. So there you go. I mean, you're looking for strong heels, but they're not building them.
I think they're just going to throw the Shield against pretty much anyone. It doesn't matter if they're faces or heels. It's pretty much going to be Raw versus the Shield. I think it's going to come down to that.
Yeah.
And I think we've had that match happen already before anyways.
All of Raw versus the Shield?
I feel like the Shield also won that match or barely lost that match,
Something
too.
like that. Sounds familiar.
We're going down that situation where they're not really the good guys, but they're not really the bad guys. They're their own kind of guys. They're tweeners in a sense, and they're just out for themselves in a sense.
Was that a Roman Reigns promo? I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm just the guy.
Well, Rollins is still the IC champion, and Roman, the Universal champion.
Yeah.
They kind of run Raw in a sense.
You think Seth and Dean will take the tag titles too?
It's a little too much, but
why not?
Why not, right?
Why not? It's not great.
Well,
it's not a great future. Like Hell in a Cell, okay? Next pay-per-view on the calendar going down September 16th. It's 3 weeks away. Will it be Roman versus Braun one-on-one? It has to be, right? You were not sure after SummerSlam. You're like, I don't know if they'll do it now. They might save it, whatever. What else are you going to do?
Oh, I could see Braun against either Ambrose or Rollins, or maybe even both of them. Like, I think the story might be he has to destroy the Shield before he can get to Roman. I can see that going down. It feels like that's where we're going. I feel Roman, he'd have to wrestle somebody like Kevin instead.
Why doesn't Braun Strowman just show up? Like, if Roman comes out and cuts a promo, why doesn't Strowman just show up and cash in? Why would he have to go through the Shield? It makes no sense that he'd have to go and challenge people when he's got that right-away title shot with the briefcase. Why would he have to go through them? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, he's going to have to go through them because he doesn't want what happened last week on Raw to happen again.
He wants revenge. Well, why doesn't he just challenge Roman to a Hell in a Cell match? Lock him in the cell. Do it that way. Universal title, Hell in a Cell, Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns. WWE title, Hell in a Cell, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles. That's a good pay-per-view right there. Go with it.
It's not impossible, but Hell in a Cell, it's been proven that you can get inside Hell in a Cell. It doesn't really keep you confined.
Yeah, but the gimmick is, you're locked in there with no possible interference.
You also need to realize that Kurt Angle is now on a leave of absence, and now Baron Corbin is the acting GM of Raw. And I don't think Baron Corbin's going to be doing what people want to see. He's going to do what he thinks is best. And I'm pretty sure him and KO are still pretty good friends, or they had a decent relationship. I think he's going to give KO the title shot first.
You really think that Kevin Owens is going to main event Hell in a Cell against Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship? I do not.
You don't want to see that? I want to see that a lot. I think it should.
I'm not saying I don't want to see it. I wanted to see Kevin Owens beat Braun Strowman at SummerSlam by disqualification or countout, win the Money in the Bank briefcase, cash in on Roman Reigns at the end of the show, and walk out Universal Champion. That's what I wanted to see, but I didn't get what I want to see. I'm not trying to tell you what I want to see. What I want to see is Roman Reigns not as Universal Champion. I don't want to see Roman Reigns at the top of the card. But the WWE doesn't give me what I want to see. I'm telling you what I think is happening. Why would Kevin Owens all of a sudden get that title shot? And Braun and Roman, they're feuding. Like, the Raw ended with Braun getting powerbombed by Roman Reigns. That has to be the match. Roman versus Strowman, Hell in a Cell. And it works for Baron Corbin, too. If he's the acting general manager, he's just like, hey, these are my two biggest problems. I don't like either of these guys. Destroy each other in Hell in a Cell.
It's not impossible. I just feel that Strowman is going to go after Ambrose and Rollins first. And then eventually, he'll go to Roman. I feel this is going to be somewhat of a slow build. Because if it was going to be quick and easy, it kind of would have ended on Raw, I think. But because of this is going to take time. And it's going to take more than just Hell in a Cell to get to this match.
I don't think it should necessarily. Does Braun Strowman take the title from Roman Reigns? Like, will he be the next Universal Champion, or does Roman beat him when he challenges? I think Roman will beat him, and that's why I think we need to get it over with. Like, just go for it. Strowman says, I'm cashing in. I want it at Hell in a Cell. I want it in a cell. I want Roman. I want my title shot. And then Roman says, cool, and then Roman beats him.
Well, I think Roman should lose. I think Strowman needs to win. It's been Strowman's time for almost a year now. He's pretty much the most over guy on Raw. It's about time they give him the championship. It's his time. It's not Roman's time anymore. Roman had his time for the last couple of years.
No, it's still Roman's time. We're just now entering the Roman era. The Brock era has ended. Brock is gone. No more Brock. He's going back to the UFC. Roman is the champion. Roman is going to hold this title, I think, until 2019. I don't see him dropping this belt until January at least. Like, that's the earliest.
Well, just watch the ratings plummet on Raw, and then see, wow, they're going to change the championship, because that's what's going to happen if they keep the title on Roman that long.
Doesn't really matter, though. The ratings plummeting. I mean, they already have a huge money deal for the next 5 years with, Fox, right?
They keep those record lows. You see changes on Raw. It happens.
You say Kevin Owens is going to be the next challenger. Was he even on Raw this week?
Well, no, because of the choke slam that he took was amazing, and he should be selling it.
Okay.
You see the bounce he got off that?
Yeah, man.
That was incredible.
Kevin Owens takes a vicious beating. He's great. Like, you don't have to sell me on the greatness of Kevin Owens. He's fantastic. I know. But they don't seem to agree with us.
No, they got to put him in the main event of Hell in a Cell. The last Hell in a Cell match you had, one of the best.
I honestly think Bobby Lashley is more likely to face Roman than Kevin Owens is.
He just beat Baron Corbin this week. Baron Corbin's not going to give him a title shot.
I don't know. Maybe he deserves it. He just beat Baron Corbin.
Yeah, Corbin's not going to look at it like that. If anything, we'll get the final match that we've been building towards, Elias and Bobby Lashley.
I don't want to see that.
You don't want to see it, but they've been building it.
Was Elias on Raw this week? I don't remember. Oh, yeah, he did a little promo. And then Kurt Hawkins came out.
Highlights of Raw.
And then Elias beat Kurt Hawkins. That was terrible. Why am I seeing Elias and Kurt Hawkins on TV cutting promos and then doing a match? Like, that's 10 minutes I'll never get back.
Well, I guess because they flopped Hawkins to a face now. He's always been a heel. Not that you even know or care.
No.
But that's what happened, and they established that.
Cool.
I bet you seem very impressed by this.
Okay, Triple H was on Raw this week, and we got to talk about it. But we got to take a short pause before. When we come back, though, we will talk about Triple H. I'll do a Triple H impression, obviously, because when Triple H is on, we got to bring the impression back. It's me. Also, there was some good stuff on SmackDown, and we have the first match set official for WWE Hell in a Cell going down in 3 weeks' time in San Antonio, Texas. A big match that I'm very excited about got made official this week, and we only have one match, so we'll try to fill out the rest of the Hell in a Cell card, too. It is Wrestling Uncensored right here on TSN 690.
Hello, this is Mick Foley, and you are listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
Hey, this is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, and you are listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
This is Santino Morella, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
All right, welcome back. It is Wrestling Uncensored. I am Dave Simon. He is Johnny North. WrestlingUncensored.net is our website here on TSN 690 every Saturday night. Professional wrestling from the WWE is on the agenda, as always. The New Day became the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions this week. Five-time, as the great Booker T used to say, Tag Team Champion. He used to say WCW Champion, but you get it.
Was this the first time that the team of Kofi and Xavier won the titles?
Yeah, it might have been. I thought the match was fantastic, too. Tornado tag team match. Anything goes. No DQ. Bludgeon Brothers. New Day. That match was incredible. When Kofi took that crucifix powerbomb through the table, I thought the match was over. And he kicked out.
Wasn't it a ladder, actually?
Oh, yeah. It was a ladder, right.
It set up like a table.
Yeah. Unbelievable. What a match. Well,
you know why it was a tornado tag like that? Because Rowan was hurt going into that. He's apparently torn his bicep.
Oh, Eric Rowan is hurt.
Yeah, like he had surgery on it. He's out for a very long time. That's why they had to do the title change.
Oh, that sucks for the Bludgeon Brothers. It sucks for Luke Harper because like every time they seem to get some momentum, something goes wrong.
Yeah, but it felt like because of the DQ finish at SummerSlam, it felt like something was going to happen. It felt like New Day were eventually going to win the titles. They were just building towards it. And I think it's fine that it happened now because it's time to move on. There's other tag teams on SmackDown. Unlike Raw, there actually is a tag team division. So it's better just to move on. It's kind of been the same old with the Bludgeon Brothers. I mean, yes, they're big and they dominate, But there's only so much you can do with that. There's other teams.
New Day is one of the greatest tag teams of all time, and I'm never going to be mad at them becoming tag team champions again. When they're at the top of the tag team division, it just makes sense. I just wonder, like, at what point have they outgrown that, or do they ever outgrow it? Like, at this point, there were times when I felt like they could stay together and become world champion. They could stay together and be at the top of the card, be in the main event, be the top draw in the WWE. And the more they stay together, the more they stay in that tag team division, the more I feel like they're always just going to be a tag team, and their plateau is a tag team titles. Not to say that, it's bad to be the tag team champions, but you always want to see a team evolving and doing more and kind of changing. And the New Day, their characters change, their promos are great, everything's good. It's an entertaining act, but I wish the WWE would give them more. Like, you said there's no tag team division really to speak of on Raw, right? And you're right, there isn't. The B team are the tag team champions on Raw. So on Raw, the B team are the equivalent of the New Day. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
know.
know.
The B team and the Revival are the equivalent on Raw as the Usos and the New Day on SmackDown. I mean, the talent level of the New Day and Usos, these are two of the greatest tag teams that have ever been in the WWE. And the B team and the Revival, not so much. So why not unify the tag team titles? And do that with the New Day. Like, give them the Raw tag team titles too. Put them on Raw, put them on SmackDown. Put them on both shows. If you're the tag team champions, you get to be on both shows. Similar to what I thought they should do with the women's tag team titles if they were going to bring in new tag team titles for women, right?
Right.
I thought the best idea for that would be to have them on both brands. If you're the female tag team champions, you appear on Raw and SmackDown, because there's not enough depth in either division to support tag team champions on both shows. And I feel like there's not enough depth on Raw to really support a tag team title at all. So get rid of it. Absorb it with the New Day. Make the New Day the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. And it doesn't have to be forever, but for now, it makes sense. There are ways to splinter them off again down the road, You could have a heel team and say, we're only going to defend on SmackDown, and then the Raw GM's like, well, we need to make new tag team titles now, Easy. But right now, the New Day, they're SmackDown tag team champions. And that's cool and all, but what else can they do? What more can they do? How can they make more history? They're already the longest reigning WWE tag team champions in the history of the company. They beat Demolition's record. What more can they do? Well, how about unifying the belts? How about that? If anybody deserves it, it's the New Day.
Well, unified tag team champions, it's been done before, though. It's not a new thing. We've seen it when they had the WWE, WCW tag team titles, when Raw and SmackDown got united as one, too, as well.
We've never seen it when we have two separate brands with one set of tag team champions appearing on both. That's never been done. When we've had separate Raw and SmackDown rosters with one tag team champions, that's never been done.
We had the WrestleMania thing. It was the Colognes against Miz and Morrison, I think.
Okay.
Raw, SmackDown tag team title match.
And
I think the Colognes won that, if I'm not mistaken.
But then weren't they unifying the brands again? Like they were bringing them back together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was part of a brand unification. You know what I'm talking about, John.
Right. But that's not what they want to do. That's not their agenda, because they still have shows going on for SmackDown during Raw. Like, they still want this talent separation. Regardless that the pay-per-views are united, they still have Raw and SmackDown as their own entities and their own champions. They're not going to change that. Not anytime soon.
So you're saying they won't do it because New Day has to make SmackDown house shows while Raw is somewhere else?
If you want to draw the SmackDown house shows, yeah, without question.
New Day is a draw.
You need that.
I just feel like as a New Day fan, Seeing them win the tag team titles is like, it's cool, but like, whatever.
Well, they got to win them a lot more times. I think the Dudleys were, 13 or something? So they really got to get a lot of work on that.
I guess that's the record they're looking to break, if they're going to break a record.
I don't expect this reign to last long, do you? I mean, there's a lot of good tag teams on SmackDown. I expect Hell in a Cell, maybe even Australia, they're losing those tag team titles.
Yeah, and that would be fine because they could just win them back. Because at this point, it's not about the length of the title run. Like I said, they hold the record for that anyways, so who cares? It should be about number of times they win the tag team titles, I guess. But you're right, the tag team division on SmackDown is excellent. You got the Bar, you got the Usos.
It looks like Bar and the Club, I guess, are going to wrestle.
The Club is there too. I mean, come on. And the Raw tag division, you have the Revival.
Authors of Pain.
Yeah, Authors of Pain. They beat Titus Worldwide again this week, didn't they?
They always beat Titus Worldwide.
That's all they do is beat Titus Worldwide. What did you think about Stephanie McMahon's big promo about being proud of the women's evolution and at Raw women's title match from SummerSlam and so proud of Ronda, and then Ronda shows up and she's like, stop taking credit for me, Stephanie, what are you talking about? And stop putting everybody else lower than me. I'm just as good as everybody else. All the women were on the outside of the ring. Natty was there. The Riot Squad. Alexa Bliss was there. Sasha, Bayley, Ember Moon, the Bella Twins, Dana Brooke, Alicia Fox. They were all surrounding the ring, and Ronda was like, no, come up. Come into the ring. Like, this is all about you as well. This isn't about me. It's all about you advancing the women's division. She says that, I thought the best line from Ronda was, I'm not Brock Lesnar. I'm going to be a fighting champion and competing every night. I thought that was very cool.
It's not true.
What do you mean?
She's not going to wrestle every night.
No,
but
defend
the title every night.
She's going to be, she's wrestled more matches on Raw.
She's doing the house shows?
I don't know.
I think special ones like MSG.
Maybe.
That's it.
But she's going to be on Raw wrestling, John.
When?
I don't know. It happened a couple weeks ago, though. When's the last time Brock wrestled on Raw?
All right, but you say you're going to be a fighting champion. That means you're on every week wrestling.
Anyway, so Stephanie McMahon, she was disgusted with Ronda, trying to be nice to all the other women, and then Ronda tossed Stephanie and put her in an armbar, and then all the heel wrestlers went to see Stephanie, and all the baby faces kind of posed with Ronda. It wasn't the best segment. It's kind of weird. Well, Stephanie putting herself out there again.
I don't mind this if we're building towards the main event of Evolution of Ronda versus Stephanie. I think that would be fantastic.
It seems like we are.
Well, yes.
That's a big match.
Let's do this.
And, I was telling you on the SummerSlam post-show that Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey is the biggest money match that they could do for the women because it's their two biggest stars. I was wrong. Stephanie McMahon is a way bigger star than Nikki Bella. Stephanie McMahon is like the top women star to wrestle if you're in the WWE. If you're in the WWE, you want that one-on-one match with a McMahon.
With Stephanie in WWE, but I think worldwide, Nikki Bella might be a little bit more popular than Stephanie.
Really? Stephanie's pretty well known.
Because I feel people that are non-wrestling fans know Nikki Bella more than Stephanie.
Maybe.
So
Stephanie's made appearances on Total Bellas too, and she's like the authority figure. So, I mean, she's not the Bellas.
She's not as popular as Nikki Bella is, in my opinion, in terms of mainstream. Like, Nikki's on the talk shows. Stephanie, she's there, but not as much as Nikki is, though.
Let's see. Stephanie McMahon has 2.82 million Twitter followers.
See, it's all about your followers. That depends how popular you are, apparently.
Nikki Bella.
Plus, it's a Brie Bella thing, isn't like a Bella?
Well, the Bella twins, they have 3.52 million Twitter followers, but it is Nikki and Brie together on Twitter. So maybe they are bigger. I don't know. That's just one example. You might be right, though, Johnny North. Either way, Stephanie and Ronda is a big match, and I feel like they are headed towards that, and it's a long build because that all-women's pay-per-view is going to be in October. That Australia Super Show is when? October as well?
October 8th or 7th?
Yeah, something like that. It's going to be in Australia, and Triple H, for some reason, came out and cut a big, long promo about it on Raw.
20 minutes.
Why did that happen?
Because the game is back. That's what he said, right?
Yeah. I'm going to take off my suit. I'm going to put on my trunks. I'm going to get my spray tan.
Be orange again, yeah.
I'm going to be orange. I'm going to spit water. And I'm going to wrestle The Undertaker again. And I'm going to do the job.
He always did the job with The Undertaker, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, he's definitely losing to Taker. That was a really long promo for a match that I really couldn't care less about. Like, it's cool, whatever, Triple H, Undertaker. But, like, all you have to do is say Triple H and Undertaker are going to wrestle each other, put up a graphic. That promo was not necessary. And it's not like Undertaker's going to come out and cut a rebuttal promo anytime soon, or ever. I think that was it. It was just like, oh, we're going to promote this match by doing a Triple H in-ring promo because, like, the fans deserve to see Triple H in the ring. But, like, I don't know if they necessarily wanted that. I mean, it's cool to see Triple H live, like, when you're there, if you're not expecting him. He's a big star. But on TV, it was kind of like, yeah, next.
No, but we needed that for the promo package for the match.
Right. That's what it, yeah. But it was just like, it felt like a commercial, you know? It didn't feel like a piece of entertainment on Raw. It just felt like Triple H promoting, you know. He says he was in game mode, but he really was just in business mode there.
Well, it's just he's yelling. That's it. So that's the, that's the difference between them. But I feel this is going to be the main event of the show. So they needed to hype this even more so because this is going to end the show. So they need as much hype for this as possible.
Yeah, if that isn't the main event, I don't know what would be. You can't really get much bigger than that. Well, last time ever, Triple H and The Undertaker. It's a big match. It's cool. October 6th in Australia is when it's going to take place. I'll watch it. It's going to be on the WWE Network. It'll be cool and all, but like whatever. It has no bearing on the future of the WWE. It's just like a big match. Two old-timers doing it one more time. I saw, like, somebody posted somewhere, like, the first time Triple H and Undertaker wrestled each other was, like, 20 years ago. And it was like,
yeah.
And it was like, could you imagine other matches that happened for the first time 20 years ago happening again, like, 20 years later? And they made, like, a couple examples, like Brett and Austin. It would have to take place like next year. Like, could you imagine them wrestling again? It's just weird that these guys have been wrestling each other for so long, and they're still promoting it. Like, you'd think we'd be done with this. They're not the performers they used to be.
Well, I'm glad that he highlighted that when him and Undertaker wrestled Hell in a Cell with Shawn Michaels, he showed that photo and like this should have been the end. Like,
yeah, he was like, I didn't want to wrestle again. This was the end of an era. It was a big night for me. I had Shawn there. I love Shawn so much. He's the Heartbreak Kid. He's the best wrestler this business has ever seen.
One of the most selfish wrestlers the business has ever seen.
He's the greatest. You shut your mouth, Johnny North. I'll strike down upon you with my sledgehammer. I'll hit you with a pedigree. And you won't be able to stop it. Because I'm booking it. And you do whatever the hell I say. I almost swore, sometimes when you get into the game persona, it takes over, I can't get out, suck it,
It's not good for your kids right there.
Oh, man. Sometimes I just get lost in Triple H. I can't get out, John. I can't get out.
The many versions of Triple H, too.
Yeah, it's just Triple H throughout the years.
Yeah, I'm not really looking forward to this, but it's a big match in the sense that it's good to see Taker wrestle again, and he's going to wrestle probably at WrestleMania more than likely, so it's good for him to get his reps in. Him to be in a big-time match. Like, okay, he wrestled a house show recently, 6-man tag, that's fine, but if he's going to have another performance at WrestleMania, it needs to be more than just like a 2-minute match.
Does he wrestle Cena at Mania next year in the rematch?
Should.
I think that's the way to go. Undertaker, John Cena rematch.
An actual proper match.
Yeah, real match.
Yeah. And he's building towards this. So this match actually does mean something going forward. It's to help get The Undertaker that ring rust off.
Who does Daniel Bryan wrestle at Mania?
I think it still should be AJ Styles.
I agree. I think Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles for the WWE Championship is the match I want to see at WrestleMania. But before that, he's going to have to get through The Miz. He lost to The Miz with a little bit of help from Maryse. Maryse, Miz's wife, was ringside, handed Miz a pair of brass knucks. Miz used the power of the punch, knocked out Daniel Bryan for the 1-2-3, which I'm still astonished. I listened back to the show last week to make sure that I didn't hallucinate, but I did say on the show last week that Miz was going to win by some cheap way, maybe, foot on the ropes, maybe brass knuckles, power of the punch like William Regal used to do. And then lo and behold, here he goes, winning with a pair of brass knucks. Like, man, I called it, Johnny North. I know this stuff inside and out. I am good. Wrestling Uncensored. Ichiban. Wrestling Uncensored, #1.
I wish you could have prepared me for this mixed tag match, though. I'm really not looking forward to that whatsoever.
I didn't really see that coming, but I think it's kind of cool that they're doing it. Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella, his wife, taking on Miz and his wife, Maryse. All four of them former champions, right? Bryan is a former WWE champion, Miz as well. Maryse and Brie Bella, former women's champions in WWE, or Divas champions. And they'll be wrestling each other. And this is the first time ever in the WWE, as far as I know, that two married couples have faced off against each other in a tag team match. It's never happened before.
We've had couples
You've had couples, but never married couples with children facing off against each other, It's kind of crazy. And Monroe Sky, which I can't believe I know Miz's daughter's name, but they mention it on TV so much, you get to know it. Monroe Sky hasn't been alive for that long. Maryse gave birth 6 months ago? How old is that kid?
I wanted to say March or something like that. Or
That's crazy that she's going to wrestle at Hell in a Cell in September. That's insane. I cannot believe that she's going to do that. I wonder how much she'll actually do.
Well, how much did she do in the WrestleMania match?
Not much. Not much. But still, the fact that she's going to be in a tag team match, she's going to be physical, she's going to be in the ring. Good for Maryse, man. She's got my respect going out there after giving birth. The same year having a wrestling match, coming back to the WWE. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Brie Bella as well. I mean, these are both mothers, and they're going to be wrestling each other, mothers and fathers. Married couples with children. I mean, this is a real family affair here. It's a fun little gimmick. It's the first match announced for Hell in a Cell. Brie and Daniel Bryan taking on Miz and Maryse. Bryan's going to go over, right?
Well, he should have went over at SummerSlam.
No, look, if John and Nikki beat Miz and Maryse, Brie and Daniel will beat him too.
Again, should win, but
he will.
Stranger things have happened.
I told you he wasn't going to win at SummerSlam. I told you Miz was going to win. You didn't believe me, John. I told you. Because this match, this feud, was going to go on. This was not the last one at SummerSlam. It was obvious to me. I don't know how you didn't see that.
It should be over. It should just be Daniel Bryan beating The Miz, destroying him, and that's it. But it hasn't happened, and it's still going on. And it feels like this is going to get worse before it gets better, because I'm not looking forward to this mixed tag whatsoever.
I am. I am a huge Daniel Bryan fan, and I'm excited for anything that he does. I don't really care what he does. Daniel Bryan could wrestle, The Miz, and I'd be excited. Wait, he is wrestling The Miz, and I am excited. Like, it doesn't matter. He could wrestle my least favorite wrestler. He could wrestle Dean Ambrose or The Miz, Like, I'm cool with this. Whatever Bryan does is great. He's so good, he can bring a great match out of anybody. He stole the show at SummerSlam with The Miz. That's how good Daniel Bryan is.
Depending on how this goes, I'm going to be very concerned with how they're using Daniel Bryan. I don't find he's the top guy that he should be. If it goes down the path it might go down this match.
He is. He's just getting there. It's a long way away from WrestleMania. It's a slow build. AJ Styles has to get through Samoa Joe first.
I'd be very worried if I was a Daniel Bryan fan. I can't believe you're not more worried.
I'm not at all. Bryan is heavily featured on the show. He's getting big matches. He's getting to do what he wants. He gets to team with Brie. That's amazing. He gets to team with his wife. I'm sure he's so excited about that. You might not be excited. I'm sure a lot of wrestling fans are like, oh, I don't want to see this. Whatever. Daniel Bryan's excited, okay? I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him and Brie that they get to do this. It's cool for them, okay? They'll be able to look back when they're, 80 years old or old married couple. They'll look back and be like, look at that. We tag teamed together in the WWE. How cool is that when we teamed up against Miz and Maryse? They get to show their kid that. Little birdie will get to watch that. Mommy and daddy tag teaming together. I think that's cool. I'm happy about that. Maybe it's because I'm a parent and you're not that I'm more excited about this than you are. I don't know what it is, Johnny.
Maybe. Well, you also really are a huge Bella fan as well.
I'm a big fan of the Bellas. I'm a big fan of Daniel Bryan. I like that whole crew. John Cena, John Laurinaitis, JJ, Kathy. I mean, everybody.
Team Hell No, it was fun, but the end result, it wasn't great. And I feel like we're going down the same road here. Like, okay, this is a fun little match, but I don't think this is going to be that exciting to watch. Mixed tag matches? Can you think of a really classic mixed tag?
No. Maybe Goldust and Luna. Goldust and Luna against Miro and Sable from 14.
Right. That's it because of the circumstance behind it all.
Yeah.
But that was it. I mean,
was that the first one?
Mixed tag ever? I don't think so.
First one at Mania, that's for sure.
Maybe at Mania, yeah. I know ECW probably did.
It was the first one in WWE that I remember seeing.
It was a big deal back then, yeah. I mean, now...
Rest in peace, Luna.
Thing is, back then, too, I feel like the guys and the girls could hit each other. Now it's just kind of just one-sided. So it takes away from the match.
Yeah, that's true. It used to be a little bit different. Except when Ronda Rousey's in the ring, she tosses dudes around. That's fun.
It's still one-sided. It's just, you can't hit Ronda back.
Well, no. Well, you don't want to because she'll destroy you. Okay, I want us. We have to wrap up here. We're running out of time, but I want to get to Becky Lynch and that promo that she cut. She's saying SummerSlam was supposed to be her moment. The fans were chanting for her. I thought it was a great promo from Becky. The fans were like going for Becky, but then she tried to turn them against her. She was saying, don't cheer for me now. You're never with me. You never supported me. Charlotte Flair comes out, and the fans seem to not be behind Charlotte. I feel like the WWE's trying to make Charlotte the babyface and Becky the heel, but that's not how we feel. We like Becky, and we're mad that Charlotte keeps stealing these opportunities, keeps getting that spot. Charlotte and Becky had a brawl. Paige, the SmackDown general manager, she shows up, sends all the SmackDown women out to separate them. Asuka, Naomi, Lana, Mandy, Zelina Vega, Sonya, Peyton, and Billie Kay. I mean, they all showed up to separate them, and they had trouble separating them. And eventually, the brawl just kind of ended. Becky and Charlotte seem like they're embarking on this feud, but I'm Team Becky here. I don't really see how Becky is the heel. I thought Becky's promo was excellent. It felt very real. And when she says that she is the best, I believe it. She is the best. She fought her way up. She earned that shot at SummerSlam. She earned her one-on-one match with Carmella, and Charlotte Flair just kind of snuck in and stole everything from her. She realized that Charlotte was the one holding her back all this time. I believed a lot of that from Becky Lynch, and that's true to a certain extent. You think about the four horsewomen with Charlotte and Becky and Sasha and Bayley. I mean, those four women, they're called what? The four horsewomen. You think they're called the four horsewomen because of Becky Lynch? No, they're called the four horsewomen because the four horsemen was Ric Flair and his crew. This is Charlotte Flair and her crew. And if you want to be an individual and more than just a member of Charlotte's crew, once in a while you got to beat Charlotte, you got to step out of the shadow, and you got to say that you are the best. When you are the best performer, like Becky Lynch is, you got to step out and say it. And when she says it, and the WWE is thinking, no, Charlotte is the best, but then Becky says, no, I'm the best. The crowd goes, yeah, you are, Becky Lynch. I'm the best.
Arn Anderson did the same thing to Ric Flair. It didn't work out for him. Okay, he beat Rick.
Well, Arn Anderson wasn't better than Rick. Becky's better than Charlotte.
Some people would disagree with you on that, but okay.
That's cool. I believe Becky's better than Charlotte. Do you not?
I meant the Arn Anderson Ric Flair thing, actually. But
Oh, you think that you think Arn's better than Nate?
I think some people would agree Arn's a more versatile wrestler than Rick. Rick's
I disagree.
kinda straight to the point, does his routine.
Arn had no character, no promo, no charisma.
That's not true.
I mean, he had charisma. He was a charismatic dude. He was scary. Arn was scary, but he wasn't Ric Flair. I mean, come on. The promo, the charisma on Ric Flair, through the roof. Unbelievable.
He did
The promo on Ric Flair, are you kidding me? There's nobody. He's one of the greatest promos in the history of the business. There's nobody around at his era that could touch him. The guy was on another level. Arn Anderson, I mean, he's a good talent. I'm not saying he's not, but hey, man, he's no Nature Boy Ric Flair. But the disparity between Nate and Arn Anderson as far as promo is not the same between Charlotte and Becky. I think Becky's promo on SmackDown was better than pretty much any Charlotte Flair promo you'd see.
In terms of the wrestling, though, Charlotte's one of the best.
So is Becky.
Not saying Becky isn't.
So is Becky. I'd say Becky is better.
I feel Charlotte's more athletic. Becky is very good.
I think Becky is a better wrestler.
Okay.
Charlotte is more athletic. She pulls off like flashier stuff, but Becky's matches are better. More believable, too.
I find Charlotte's more of the complete package in terms
I
of
think they're
wrestling.
both great. I think Becky is just a bit better.
Well, clearly WWE does not think that way because obviously Charlotte always gets the title and Becky, she doesn't.
I think she's going to get a title shot at Hell in a Cell. They haven't made it official yet because Carmella will be getting her rematch against Charlotte Tuesday night on SmackDown. I fully expect Charlotte to win.
They might wait for Evolution for Charlotte and Becky, and this Carmella thing might drag to Hell in a Cell.
I don't think so.
Should this be inside Hell in a Cell then, Becky and Charlotte?
No. I don't think you need it.
I mean, it's a pull apart. You know, if it's a big deal like that, you kind of need a match like that, no?
I think AJ Styles and Samoa Joe is way more deserving and needing of that Hell in a Cell. You know, AJ and Joe wrestled so many times in other promotions. You know, they wrestled so many times in TNA, and they could wrestle in WWE all day in a ring. But you know what they couldn't do in TNA that they can do in WWE? Hell in a Cell.
Okay. Fine. Sure.
It's new. It's something that didn't exist, and it's something that you can see AJ Styles wrestle Samoa Joe anywhere you want. Throw them in a ring in my backyard. I mean, you'd have to pay them a whole lot, but you know what I'm saying? Throw them in a ring, whatever. AJ Styles and Samoa Joe inside a Hell in a Cell, only in WWE will you get that. And that's why they should be in the cell. Because AJ and Joe have wrestled so many times in so many different places. Make it special. Give us something we've never seen before. Give them the Hell in a Cell match. I think any match needs that. It's AJ and Joe. The one match that I want to see in the cell is those two guys. They need it. They deserve it. They've been fighting all the time. AJ cut a promo this week. Joe attacked him after the little promo there on SmackDown. These guys cannot stand each other. They're attacking each other all the time. Put them in a cell. Let them tear each other apart in the cage.
I'm not going to disagree that it would be great to see them in Hell in a Cell. I just feel that Becky and Charlotte, given how that turned from them being friends to hatred, Hell in a Cell makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but how many cell matches are you going to have on this card? And are you going to have 2 SmackDown cell matches and no Raw cell matches? Because I feel like Hell in a Cell, pay-per-view, you're only going to have 1 or 2 cell matches. I think you probably have 2, but I think one's going to be Raw, one's going to be SmackDown. I mean, maybe you give them both to SmackDown. I wouldn't be opposed, but I feel like Roman and Braun Hell in a Cell and AJ and Joe Hell in a Cell is where you should be going. I don't know if you need women in the Hell in a Cell here, but, you know, what the hell? Throw a third one out there. Give us Becky and Charlotte Hell in a Cell too. Do 3. Or do Roman and Braun non-Hell in a Cell and do them both for SmackDown, you know? But I think Samoa Joe, AJ Styles must be Hell in a Cell, and then whatever else they do is whatever else they do.
Well, we're going to find out very shortly, right? Because Hell in a Cell, it's only in a couple of weeks' time, and they have to kind of get this official very soon.
We should find out Monday or Tuesday. I think if we're going to get a cell match, which we will, right? It's Hell in a Cell. They should announce it soon. Like, that should be one of the first matches that they throw out there. So far, we only have that mixed tag match, the Danielsons versus the Mizanins. I think the Hell in a Cell match, we're 3 weeks away. Let's go. Let's announce it. This Tuesday night, Paige needs to announce Joe and AJ will be inside the Hell in a Cell.
I thought it was Daniel Bella.
Well, that's what Miz was calling him or whatever. But his real name's Bryan Danielson.
The Bellas are more over, though. I mean, makes sense.
Bella's not their last name, John. Do we need to have this discussion again about fake last names in the real world? Like Johnny North?
I think couples, it makes sense. You know, Dana Warrior. Are we having this discussion again?
No, we're not. The show's over. Johnny North, when's your next match? When can people see you in the ring?
It's going to be September 16th for Drew Onyx, Torch Chamber Show, 4325 Industrial Boulevard, bell time 2 p.m. Don't know my match yet. Tickets, $5.
WrestlingUncensored.net is our website. For more on Johnny North, follow him on Twitter at North Genesis, on Instagram at Genesis Johnny North. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Dave Simon MMA. Ringside Report Radio every Friday nights on TSN 690. And this show right here, Wrestling Uncensored, every Saturday night. You can download every episode of Wrestling Uncensored, of Ringside Report Radio, of What's Phantom in Japan, the SummerSlam post show, the Dave and Johnny live show. All those shows available. The Ringside Report podcast network over at ringsidereport.net. All this stuff is over there. You can subscribe to the Ringside Report podcast on iTunes. You'll get Wrestling Uncensored. You'll get everything downloaded to your device. Very easy. And, of course, the YouTube channel as well, where we do live shows. Make sure to tune in Friday afternoons for Dave and Johnny Live. We talk to you. We take your questions live on YouTube. You can see us. You can ask us questions, whatever you want, about whatever you want. Everything and anything can happen on Dave and Johnny Live Friday afternoons on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ringsidereport.net, with the .net spelled out DOTNET. Go check us out online, ringsidereport.net, the website for all the info on that. Online home for everything, ringsidereport.net. Thank you to Jimmy and Marco back at the TSN 690 studios for helping us out. And a big thanks to you for listening. For Johnny North, I am Dave Simon, and this has been Wrestling Uncensored. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.